Hi, and welcome to another 3ABN Today cooking program. We are
the Micheff Sisters.
I'm Linda.
I'm Brenda.
And I'm Cinda.
And we're so excited to spend this time with you today.
We are.
We have a program planned for you that I believe is a popular program around the world. Everyone loves pie. So welcome to our pie pantry.
That's right. And we have a little twist on it,
yes,
too.
We do.
Because a lot of times when you think of pie, don't you just think of something sweet? Well, we have some savory pies for you, too.
Well, I was going to say it depends on what country you're from, because I was recently in Australia, and there were so many savory pies. And in Australia, when you say pie, they think savory. I was really surprised, so I said, "Oh, that pie sounds good," and I'm thinking, but well, let's have dinner first. And they're like, "Huh?" So they weren't thinking dessert.
And you know what? I kind of don't think there's anything wrong with having regular pie first, too. It's fruit, right? We'll have a fruit pie.
And I love dessert, so but I really love savory pies too. And so today we have quite a wide variety for you of pies, both savory and sweet.
Oh, why don't we show them a little, just a little teaser of what we're making today.
Exactly. We're going to start off with my curried lentil pie.
That's awesome. And then we're going to go to the lemon cream pie.
Now, don't you want a fork to dig right into that one?
And we're also going to do a deep dish pizza pie.
Ooh.
That's right. Who doesn't love pizza? And then blueberry crumb pie. You won't believe how easy it is to make this pie.
And then a tamale vegetable pie.
Ooh, that sounds good too. Well, we're going to start with the lentil curry pie, and as I mentioned, I really was influenced by this recipe when I was in Australia. And my friends Jenny and Kevin Majewski, I taped Nature Time over there, and we stayed at their house, and they live right near the Gold Coast. And they love pies. They're actually the ones that first said, did I want, pie for supper? And I'm thinking, yeah, but let's have something a little bit different first, And they took me to this pie shop, and they said they were famous for their lentil potato curry pies. Well, let me tell you, I know why they're famous. They are wonderful. So I came home and decided I am going to try to recreate that. And I think I'm pretty close. In fact, I can't wait for Jenny and Kevin are going to visit the States later on this year. And I can't wait. I want to make this for them and tell me if I get the thumbs up that it's pretty close to the one in Australia.
I'm thinking, I've never been to Australia. I'm thinking I might need to go taste that pie in Australia.
I think you would. Wait till you see the pie shops, because there's like small, they're all small pies though. Over here we think about bigger pies. They're all the little small pies, and there's just racks and racks of kinds of pies.
That's okay, because small pies, you could order several different kinds.
Now she does have a point about that.
My husband Joel loves pie, so he might want to go to Australia with me.
That's true. And even in their malls, in their shopping malls, they have kiosks in the middle of the, in between the stores and the aisles, and they have little bake shops with all these pies. All kinds of pies. They have, meat pies too, but they're the ones that I was interested in, of course, was a vegetarian one, and that lentil potato pie. It is really, really what I love the most. So we're going to do that today. We've got different stages going on here. So I have.
Do you want to read the recipe for them first? Because they might want to know how to make this too.
You might want to know. Yes, you do. So I'm glad that's what sisters are for. So let me read the recipe for you. First, you will need 2 cups of petite diced tomatoes, 4 cups of water, 1½ teaspoons of salt, 1 cup of lentils, 1 medium onion, 1 cup of potatoes, 1/2 cup of carrots, 2½ teaspoons of red curry powder, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 4 teaspoons of double concentrated tomato paste, and puff pastry sheets. That's all you need. And to start with, we've already got water boiling here. And Cinda, if you would just start adding everything here except the potatoes. Okay?
Okay.
Everything goes in there, and we are going to just get that started cooking. Now, lentils don't take that long to cook, and if you like them really, really mushy, you can keep them on the stove and you can let them cook a little bit longer, but these are the brown lentils that I'm using. and it doesn't really, there's different types of lentils. The yellow lentils, if you're using that, is more of a, what you think of dal and Indian food, and they will cook faster and get kind of yellow a little bit on you. But the brown lentils probably take a good hour. Sometimes I like them a little bit softer than normal, so maybe an hour and a half simmering on a stove on a back burner. And since this show isn't going to take, we don't have all that time to cook all those, since this, you just keep putting that in.
Well, I was going to, before I put this in, do you want to tell them about this?
I do.
That's what I was
getting
thinking.
ready
I was
to do that.
helping you all out. You can count on me. I'm here for you.
One of the ingredients that I use here is a tomato paste, and you can use the tomato paste that's in a can if you want. I like the Italian tomato paste, and I'm going to just set it right here so that the camera can get a good shot of it right there. And that it's called Amore tomato paste. This comes in a tube, and you can find it in your Italian section in a grocery store. So you'll see an international section in your grocery store, and there with the Italian things, that's where the tomato paste. So don't go running to look by the cans of tomatoes. You won't find it there probably. Go to the Italian section. And I really like the flavor of this, but if you don't have it and your store doesn't carry it, just get the small can of tomato paste, and it's not going to be a problem. So now we have the potatoes over here, and because they cook faster, I'm not going to have you put those in at all right now. Those are actually going to cook. You're going to just simmer that, bring it to a boil, and then we're going to just put it on simmer and let it just be happy cooking away. So now, while that's doing that, I am going to, I have already some that is already cooked right here.
So they can see what it looks like.
And you can see what it looks like when it's already cooked. You can see there's the carrots and the potatoes. And
it thickens up a lot when it cooks down.
Exactly. Look at how thick that is. And this is our filling for our pie. So this is what we're going to do next. We're going to put this over here. Now you can use any pie pastry that you want. Your favorite pie crust pastry you can use. And I do that quite frequently as well. I chose puff pastry today only because that's the type of pastry that they had in Australia, and since this is Australian inspired, I decided to stay with that. But probably more for my family, I would probably use my own pie crust recipe. That's my personal choice. But I wanted to just be authentic here, so I'm trying to, give you the real deal. I've got that. So you're just going to just sprinkle some flour out here, and I just tear open the package, and there's 2 sheets in here. And with puff pastry, you have to work very fast with it because it'll stick together very quick and can be hard to separate.
But you need to keep it chilled.
You need to keep it chilled, and this has been. It just came out of the refrigerator, and so it's still chilled. And see how it just opens up. And if it gets warm at all, just setting out on your counter, it won't open up like this. So you see how we're just tearing it back like that. So that's how you want it to. Now, if you've left it out on your counter and it can't get it apart, don't throw it out, just roll it out, and we'll still make it work. Okay, so I'm going to roll this just a bit thinner here, and just not too much, just a little bit. And then I use these little pans right here. This is actually a little bit bigger than the pies they have there. Theirs are a little bit smaller than this even, but this is the only size I could find here. So you're going to turn it upside down, and we're going to take a knife and just cut around like this, a little bit bigger than your tin right there. And then just pick this right up and place it in your tin like this, and bring the sides up over like this. And you might have to stretch it a little bit. That's okay. Sis, you want to grab that side. And so, yeah, there we go. See, we just have sister work right here. Pull it right there. And I kind of just pinch it right over the edge sometimes in it just for a second, just to keep it there. And there you go. And just, okay. And make sure that this, and you can probably, if I would have cut this maybe a little bit bigger, we wouldn't have had to stretch it so much. But it'll be okay. So now we have that. So now we need another one that we're going to just cut for the top, and I'm just kind of just cut a big spot here. And you can draw any shape you want. I'm just going to draw a little flower. So I'm just going to take with the tip of my knife. Sometimes you can do little hearts, or you can do smiley faces, or any little design you want. Somebody's initial of their name you can put if it's for somebody special. And now we're just going to take, and you're going to spoon some filling right into your pie and just fill it right up like that. And try not to get it on the counter like I did. And so, and then about like that is good. And now, let me just cut this over here. Now, here's the thing with puff pastry I like to do. This is a little bit of water right here. It helps your crust stick together. And so I just take my fingers and I dip in there a little bit, and I just wet the bottom crust all the way around like that. And then pick this up, put it over the top, and pinch that together. Can you see this right here? See how I have the bottom I'm pinching together? And what that does is that sealing, so when it gets cooking here and it gets all bubbly, it doesn't bubble up and out so much. And so you're going to seal that off. And then I'm just going to cut these just a little bit bigger than your crust right here. And let's see. Here we go. And now, this is the fun part. I like this. You're just going to turn it under a tiny bit, and just like that. See this here? We're turning it under and go all the way around. And you can do now a couple of things. I'm going to make it the way, you know, our mom taught us.
I was just going to say that. I was going to say, ever since we were little, Mom would, whenever she would make a pie, she would have our own little tins, each one of us, even our brothers.
That's right.
And she would teach us how to flute the pies, and we all made our own little pies. I mean,
Mom would have us put a finger here. What you do is you put a finger here, and then you pinch and twist. So put a finger, pinch, and twist. And when you leave off,
I never put a finger there. I just went like this.
Just a second. Put a finger, twist. Put a finger, twist. Put a finger, twist.
And it makes it real pretty.
That's right. And there's so many different ways. Cinda's right. There's so many different ways you can do it. But this is the way Mom taught me to do it. And I've been doing it ever since. And just like that. And there you go. Just isn't that easy?
That is easy.
And then you're going to bake that at in a 400-degree oven for about 40 minutes to 55 minutes, depending on your oven how hot it gets. And if it starts to get brown on the top, it still needs that probably good 50 minutes to maybe even an hour to really get the bottom crust done. Put a piece of foil over the top so your top crust doesn't get too done. And then I've got some here already baked, ready to show you.
And they're
Right
beautiful.
there. See how they puff right up in the tins like that? And if you've got some small little pie pastries, now if you don't want a little one, make a big pie. It won't hurt a thing if you don't have them. Well, right now our next recipe is
lemon cream pie.
That's right.
Let me read the recipe for you. For the graham cracker crust, you will need 1 3/4 cups of graham cracker crumbs, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of almond or soy milk, and 2 tablespoons of melted soy margarine. For the cream filling, you will need 1 8-ounce carton of Tofutti Better Than Cream cheese, 1 8-ounce carton of non-dairy whipped topping, 2 to 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar, and 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice. For the lemon filling, you will need 1 1/4 cups of sugar, 1/2 cup of cornstarch, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 1/4 cups of almond or soy milk, 1 cup of water, 3/4 cup of fresh lemon juice, and 2 heaping tablespoons of fresh lemon zest. My husband, as you all know, loves pie, all kinds of pie.
And the reason they all know, only if you are watching our cooking shows, because Cinda's always talking about her pies she makes for Joel.
Every
but for
Friday.
Our new viewers, we're just going to let you know that.
Every Friday I make a pie for my husband.
Not just a little pie. We're talking a big pie.
Every week.
And he gives me flowers every week.
Yes,
so
he does. Beautiful.
Yeah, so it's kind of a special tradition that we have. So this time I decided to create a lemon pie because he likes lemon. And so we've got a lot going on.
Yes,
but
we do.
There's a lot going out here, but it really does go fast and it's really easy, you'll see.
No, notice no eggs?
No eggs.
Wow.
So,
and most
yeah.
people don't
Lemon
think
pie.
about lemon pie without eggs.
That's
yes.
right.
Right. So, sis, I'm going to get you started on the filling.
Do I turn
so,
this on, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And add your water. You can actually turn it off for just a minute because I need you to add all your ingredients and blend it up because this is your cornstarch and it needs to be added into a cold liquid. So add all of your ingredients in there, and what you'll do is
this
then
mine or yours?
yes, all this is yours because this is just a little
She's
bit
quite
of salt.
generous over there. All that's yours, sis.
More than you do. Wow.
And then here's your sugar, and
I dump the cornstarch in?
and then the cornstarch
And I'm stirring it with
stir
this?
Well, you can stir it with whatever, and then as soon as you get that all stirred up and blended, so there's going to be no lumps with our cornstarch, then turn your heat on, and you can give us a thickening alert.
You want to
because
borrow my fork, sis?
Maybe. But it's actually...
Actually, it's doing really good. So
But I'll keep that in mind.
so that's
Okay,
what
I'll
you'll do.
share.
You get all
I'm not
this mixed
selfish.
up first, then she will turn the heat on, and she'll give us a little signal when it starts to get thick. It doesn't take long.
What kind of
and
signal
it'll
do
get
you
kind
want?
of clear. Oh, I want this. Quick, hurry, hurry, come on now.
I had to ask.
That's really what we want, isn't that? Because then, you know, that's a thickening alert. You need a thickening alert.
Or she could make the cock-a-doodle-doo sound or something like that.
Oh,
So
yes,
that'd be
she's
a
used
good
to that
night.
from Tiny Tots.
Okay, now we're...
Yeah, I want that sound. Can you give us that signal?
Well,
I'm waiting for the cock-a-doodle. We are not going to look to you, cock-a-doodle-doo.
thank you very much.
Okay, I'm going to do, oh, you know what I am going to do is quick give you some lemon zest. Let me get you some lemon zest. For those that aren't familiar with lemon zest, it is the yellow part, the outside part of the lemon, and I'm going to just put some here for you. And you want to just get, when it starts to get white on, I'll turn it like that. When it starts to get white, then you turn your lemon and keep turning it.
You only want the outer
You
skin.
only want that outer skin. And oh, when
There's
you
a lot
start,
of flavor in that. There's
when-
a lot of
Yeah, there really is.
aroma, really, too.
When-
Then you, a nice
oh,
lemon
it
scent
smells,
just
doesn't
fills
it?
the
It
air.
smells so good. I love lemon zest.
I should just peel some and sit it in my kitchen so it smells good.
That does. It smells wonderful.
Actually, that's not a bad idea, is it?
It smells so good in here.
Okay, Brenda, can you
Okay.
take and put the spatula or your fingers, whatever. We've all washed our hands. And while I keep zesting
I
this
did.
other lemon, she
Yes.
did, trust me.
Yes, I did.
Go ahead and stick that in, and I'm going to
Okay.
keep, or Linda got it
Oh,
for
you
you.
got it. Okay.
I'm going to just, because you want, this really will flavor.
Yep.
My husband likes stuff a little on the sour side. He doesn't like stuff real sweet. So as for him, I would probably even add just a touch more of this lemon zest, because it's, you know, to give it the, a real,
I love it how God made all of us so different. You know, some of us like, you know, our things sweeter. Some of us like really spicy. Some of us like it kind of bland, and that's okay too. God made us so all different. It would be a really boring world if we were all made the same. Don't you think, sisters?
well, don't
Yeah,
you?
I love how he loves us individually.
Yes.
Just like what you're saying. You know, he cares about each one of us, no matter, you know, what color we are, what color hair, how tall we are. You know, he loves us all the same. And to think that he even numbers the hairs on our head.
That's right.
I mean, that is just totally amazing.
That to me, I love how God puts that in the Bible for us to know, because to me it just says how much God knows us indivially,
Yeah,
and loves
that's
us
right.
individually. He didn't just die for the whole world. He died for all of us.
Well, and you know, he didn't just. I love how you said he loves us all and created us all differently.
Yes.
Look at all the varieties of foods
Yes.
he created for us. So, you know, all of us.
One of the most amazing things for me is bread. Every country we've gone to, and we've had an opportunity, all three of us, to travel around the world quite a bit. And one thing that's so amazing to me is how you can take the basic ingredients of flour and yeast
And
and
water
salt
and
and
salt.
water, and you can come up with so many different varieties of bread. It's amazing, like literally thousands of different kinds of breads. It's
Right.
delicious and wonderful. Depending on what country you're in, it's going to taste different. And that's just, oops, sorry. And that's just really amazing to me.
Yeah,
that
it
you
is
can do
to me
that.
too. Okay, sis.
All right.
I'm going to get you started on our cream filling part.
Okay.
Now, this is a non-dairy whipped topping.
Okay.
Now, I use the tofutti better than cream cheese. I like the flavor better. And if you don't have this, you can use a regular light cream cheese. But if you can find this, I really like the flavor of this.
Sure.
So what you'll do is kind of stir this with a fork in here first, just
Okay,
to
soften
soften
it.
it up.
Okay.
And then you'll blend it into here with your powdered sugar.
Okay.
And I will squeeze you the juice
Okay.
of a couple lemons. And it really is...
Cock-a-doodle-doo!
Wait a minute. You got to go...
No, just look at this. It's thick.
She did it.
Oh, she did it.
I love it.
Okay, there it is.
See how pretty that is? And
Yeah.
it didn't take long, did it?
Let's time her again and let's see if she can do a horse
No,
voice.
that's okay. That's my one animal thing.
Hey, since you're finished with that, I'll let you finish squeezing the lemon for me.
All right.
Because while she's squeezing lemon, because she's going to put the tablespoon of lemon juice in your bowl. Because you're going to need, I like a little bit of lemon flavor in this.
Okay.
So put a tablespoon.
Do I do this, or is this enough?
That actually might be enough. Let's get the seeds out here.
This out of here.
Here, I'll just go
Okay.
like this and put a tablespoon in here for you.
Okay. I think I got it. I hope Mom's not watching today because I don't have a rubber spatula to get everything
Oh,
out.
here. Here, sis.
Oh, okay. Well, oops. Okay, Mom. Guess I get it all.
Okay, while she's doing that, I'm going to make our graham cracker filling. That is, thanks, sis. That this is you can make homemade graham crackers if you want, or you can just buy some graham crackers and crumble them up. Put them in a blender or something and crumble them up. And then I put in just a little bit of sugar. And then I'm going to put in just 2 tablespoons of our soy margarine, because I really don't want to use a lot of margarine. So that I don't have to use a lot, I'm adding the almond. I like to use almond milk, and I put almond milk in there. And that is just so that I don't have to use a lot of the soy margarine. And I'm going to mix that up real good. Oh, you're doing great, sis.
Hey, I'm getting my workout here. Whew.
Whoa. I can taste that. She splattered it all over me. It's good. It's okay.
Hey, I was really getting into it here. I mean, I want to do a good job. You know, Daddy and Mom always said, if you're going to do a good job, do it good.
That's
you
right.
know?
So then what we'll do is we'll take our pie plate and
for your hands to wash
I'll take
your
one
hands.
of those.
You want
myself.
one? Got one for both of you.
Oh, well, aren't you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Okay. All right.
Okay, good job. Thanks, sis. And then you're going to take this and form a crust. And when you pat it out, you pat it up the sides so that you have a crust. And now you don't bake this pie. This is almost done, except the crust. I do bake the crust. You don't you don't even have to bake the crust if you don't want.
It does hold together nicely.
It holds together better if you do, but if you don't have an oven, you don't have to. And so you'll pat this out really good, and then what you do is you'll put this filling here on top of this, and then let this cool just a little bit. Now just to
The lemon filling?
the lemon filling, just to where it won't melt your cream topping. Put that on top. and then put it in the refrigerator for a couple hours so it can set. And here's what it looks like all
Isn't that
finished.
beautiful? Sis, that is gorgeous. And just garnished with a little lemon wedge. Oh, that's beautiful. Well, what do we have coming up next for our pie pantry?
Deep dish pizza pie.
All right.
For the dough, you will need 1½ cups of warm water, 1 tablespoon of lecithin granules, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of honey, 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast, 1 3/4 cup of whole wheat flour, 1 cup of unbleached white flour. For the pizza, you will need 1 cup of spaghetti sauce, 1½ cups of sliced black olives, 1/2 cup of sliced green olives, 1/2 cup of corn, 1/2 cup of edamames, 1/2 cup of mushrooms, 1 cup of pan-seared onions, and a cup of red peppers, and 1 cup of vegan pepperoni. You will also need 4 slices of vegan mozzarella cheese, 1 cup of vegan grated mozzarella cheese, and that's all you need. I love to make bread, any kind of bread. I love to work with dough.
Yes.
I think one of the reasons is because it just brings back so many pleasant childhood memories.
Absolutely.
Mom was always baking bread, and then she would take it to the neighbors, and we'd go. Actually, we got to deliver the bread. She made it, and Dad would go with us, and we would deliver the bread and bring sunshine to people, and we'd tell them, "Here's a loaf of bread our mom just made," and their faces would light up, and
We'd say, "We just want you to know Jesus loves you."
That's right. And then we'd take it to the church members. You know,
She always involved us kids in everything she did, but especially the cooking and baking.
Yes.
That's
So even our brothers, all 3 of us, it didn't matter what she was cooking or baking, we all 3 were involved.
Exactly. And you know, it just makes me love Mom so much more because
know.
it would have been far easier for Mom to just do it herself and have us go out and play, and then she could just get the job done. And she took the time to teach us. And I just really love that about our mom.
That's really important for all parents today.
Exactly.
Both you know, both parents, moms and dads, to involve your kids in whatever you're doing.
That's right.
You know?
I think one of the best gifts that we can give our kids is the gift of time.
Absolutely.
And actually
That's right.
spending time with them. And sometimes I'm not so very good about that, you know? So I have to really pray about that because I'm a person that just likes to get it done. But then memories of Mom will come back and I'll like, oh, I know that this was good for me and I need to practice this too.
Not only for our kids, but the gift of time is the most precious gift we can give each other, that we can give the people we love, whether or not of all ages.
That's
you know?
true.
So
Friends
the gift
and
of
family.
time is really, really precious.
It is.
And
Well, right now, I'm going to put I have warm water, and I'm putting that in. And these are lecithin granules, and it's replacing the oil, is what it's doing. It's replacing the oil.
Okay.
So,
And we definitely want to replace that oil whenever we can, so we don't have all those
right.
fat
And then I have
calories.
some honey. And that's a real natural sweetener, and I like it. I'm excited now that your husband, Cinda, is raising, you know, he has bees,
Oh,
and he's going to
my
have some good
husband's
honey.
all into bees now.
I want my salt in there.
Okay.
And now you can put half the flour in.
okay,
Yeah, you can put all of that.
Okay.
And then,
a little bit of this.
and I'm going to sprinkle, go ahead, you can do it too. I'm just
Okay.
sprinkling the yeast in with that.
All right. Boy, that's
Okay.
fun. I didn't even get it on you.
Okay, you can,
Well,
Put
it's
a little
not
bit
done
more.
yet.
Okay.
okay.
Do you have extra
Little bit
flour
more.
for kneading?
I think you know,
think
this, it might be, but it looks like I might need a little bit extra flour.
Okay.
But this dough, yes, I will need some extra flour.
I can run get you some in the
Okay,
cupboard.
that'd be awesome.
All right.
It depends on the flour too. You know, like it depends how old it is, how fresh it is.
And the moisture content in flour
It's all different.
It's all different. So a lot depends on your flour. And
Now-
that's one of the things that makes internationally flour so, I think the breads we were talking about so different is because it's affected by the types of flour.
Flour, my dear.
Well,
you
thank
go.
you.
Happy to do it. At your service. Happy to do it.
Thank you.
Good.
Now, when I made this at home, it was like the flour that I had, it turned out you know, just right. But like you said, different flours.
But of course, it's, you know, it's when you get here, it's always going to be different. That just makes life challenging and interesting and fun. Right?
Well, maybe I know weather has an effect on how it raises, so maybe weather has an effect on that too.
That's
Who
true.
knows?
Yes, it does, and we will need just a little bit more. So keep your extra flour there.
Oh,
I'll be right back.
she's just trying. She's getting even with Cindy for the cockadoodle-doo.
No.
Yeah. Oh, Cindy. Came in right on her horse.
I rode my horse. I did it
That's how
faster.
she got you so fast.
Okay. I'm just going to get this.
Is there anything
stirred up
else
a
you
little
need?
bit. No, I think this is going to do it.
Because I'm here for you.
All right. Now, I wish I had my gloves here because that would not.
Oh, well.
Well,
We all have.
Oh, thank you. I really didn't want to get my hands on this.
Linda said you can take one of Cinda's and one of mine.
Okay, that's a deal.
All right, see? Sisters share and share alike.
Here, I'll even help you. This is the nurse in me. Brenda and I are the nurses. There you go.
There we go.
Sisters come in really handy. My sisters and I were up in Wisconsin one year, and we were taping a program, and they lost my luggage. And we always dress alike when we're doing ministry together. And so, you know, my luggage didn't show up. It didn't show up. We're like, what are we going to do? What do we do? So we decided on this occasion we wouldn't dress alike, and I all wore their clothes. We just alternated. So it really came in handy.
Okay, you're taking the dough and you just kind of push it back and put a lot of pressure on. I use this part of my hand to do it.
Okay. Put a little more flour under here.
You can have a little bit, but it's probably just about right because I've added some extra flour.
Okay.
Okay, hold tight. You want to
Okay.
watch that thing on the
I'm
end?
watching this. I'm standing back. Okay, folks, here we go.
Here we go. Now I can make, my dough turns out really light and nice, but what's the matter, you guys?
I don't want to be all white.
Take that and that.
It's not like that. It just makes it soft. Think about it. If you put it in a mixer, it's going to beat it up too. And you can just.
Look at Brenda. Look at Brenda, Linda. She's like.
Okay, I just kind of spray it a little bit like that at the top of it. And
Are
then
you done slamming? I just want to know if it's safe
I'm
to come
done
home.
slamming. And I'm actually going to trade the bowls out because this is some I'd made earlier,
Okay.
and it's raised.
Okay.
So here, let me put this in there now. This can raise.
Okay. There you go.
And we set that aside in a warm place, and you let it raise double in size, and then it's ready to work.
All right.
All right, now this is ready to work. If you could spray those 2 pans,
Okay.
and we're going to get our pizza dough.
There you go.
Okay.
I love homemade
Now,
pizza.
If
It's
you can,
so good.
you just barely, now with this,
Okay.
and here's some here.
And Linda honestly makes
You got
the
the gloves on. You
best
go right
homemade
for it.
Okay,
pizza.
you just go like this, you just stretch it into place. I don't even have to use a rolling pin. I mean, if you really want to, but the more you touch the dough, it gets harder
Nice
to
and
work.
light.
It gets harder to
Wow,
work
it's
with.
just very, very
Linda
light.
makes
It's a
the best
very nice
pizza dough, I'm telling you.
And cinnamon rolls.
Oh my. Every ski trip, we go snow skiing, and Linda and her husband, and sometimes Jimmy and Julie come, and
that's my
Linda,
son.
it's a tradition. Linda always makes us pizza and homemade cinnamon rolls.
Of course, I don't enjoy them on those trips at all. I just
Not that
do
she couldn't.
I don't enjoy her cinnamon rolls on those ski trips. I gotta say, I just
Yeah.
don't.
Because she doesn't come.
I am not the skier, the
Okay,
adventurous
if you
one in
can
the family.
flute the sides. Okay, and then just, yeah, real gently pull it up. You work it up like that.
Yeah.
Oh, tell you what, we come in from Linda usually, she'll ski. She doesn't ski every day. So the days that she makes pizza, we'll come in from skiing on the slopes all day, and oh, the condo just smells so good.
I think the kitchen is just one of my funnest places to be. if we're gone on a trip or something, the first thing I want to do is get in the kitchen and make something. Only thing my husband says, well, who's going to eat all this food? But, you know, I always find friends and stuff that will
You know,
eat
when we
it.
have a family reunion, we put a note on the refrigerator with all the meals that are planned, and everybody gets signed up to a time to cook, and everyone just gets fun and in the kitchen and starts working together, and it's just really a bonding time for families.
You can flute that.
Okay.
And then we're going to put a little bit of sauce in. And then you can layer it any way you want. I kind of run the sauce a little bit up the sides, like that. There's a little bubble, so you just pop it up.
Don't you notice that when you're entertaining, you might have, you know, a very comfortable living room, but everybody's hanging around the kitchen?
They do.
I mean, that's really where it's at.
Well, we always did at home. That was the place everybody wanted to come, is to the kitchen.
Yep.
In fact, do you guys remember when we'd go somewhere and we'd come back, and there was a family one time sitting at our table, and they said, "Oh, we decided we wanted to come and eat with you because Daddy always said if you want to come, come on over." And they were there, and so Mom just went in the kitchen and she put like a little bit more water in the soup, and we had a fun time.
Mom could always come up with the meal.
Yes.
I mean, on the spur of the moment, she could always come up with a meal.
Now, just sprinkle whatever you want in there. We don't have to put the mushrooms or anything. You just put whatever you want. So, sis, just put it in any way you want. I'll help you here.
Well, I'll just take a little bit of it all.
I'm going to get some of that sauce over here, if you don't mind.
Okay, and there's a little bit left there.
I don't mind if I do. Here you go.
All right, this is kind of
I like lots of sauce, so I'm going to put it all in.
One really neat thing you can do with this, too, is let the family, all of them, make stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put a little bit in here because I don't want too much moisture.
I like to have pizza parties, and I make the little individual pizzas and just put the ingredients out and let everybody make their own.
Mm-hmm.
I do, too. That's so fun, and people like that.
They do.
Well, everybody likes a little something different.
That's right. Oh, I like
Here's
corn. I love corn.
And this here, I have some, I'm using some of the Eve's products, and this is pepperoni slices. So, and it's really an awesome meat
and you
slice.
could probably use any kind of, vegetarian product that you wanted on there, like probably even,
Here's a little onions. Do you want yours without onions?
Yeah, let's make this one without onions first. There
Then
might be someone that doesn't care for it.
This is fun.
Yeah, it's
I
just
like
a great
making
time.
pizzas. Mm-hmm.
Making them, you're eating them. Oh, well.
Hey, she's checking it out for you guys to make sure that, it's good. We don't want to give you something you wouldn't want,
That's
so
right.
It is tried, true, and tested
This is
right here.
really fun. I'm enjoying this.
Well, this is all you have to do, and then you can put the little bit of cheese. I break some of this cheese up on top, and you sprinkle that on,
gonna
and
make
lay
this
some of the
without
pepperoni
vegan cheese
on top.
A little bit of vegan cheese.
I think I'm going to make mine just like this. Is
Okay.
that right? Oh, some green olives. We got to have some of that. I like
And we have some here that are done. There's one that you can tell is a whole wheat crust, and the other is more of a mixed with white flour and whole wheat. And you just serve it with your favorite salad, and just enjoy the good company.
And something to go along with that is my blueberry crumb pie. For this, you will need 4 cups of frozen blueberries, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. For the slurry, you will need 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of cold water. And for the crust and the topping, you will need 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and 3/4 cups of margarine. Now, for anyone who struggles making a pie crust, this is the pie for you. Because this is a crust that you don't have to mix up and roll out to a perfect circle and then transfer it to the pan. This is so easy, I call it my blueberry crumb pie. And to start with, sis, I'm going to have you start with the blueberries. And we're going to these are frozen blueberries. So frozen blueberries already have a lot of juice because of all the water being frozen. So we're just going to cook those down. We're not going to add any other water. You're going to stir the sugar in it and the lemon juice. Stir that together. And when that gets nice, hot, and bubbly, you're just going to make the slurry and thicken it right up, okay? So that's all we're going to do with that. If you were to use fresh blueberries, you'd have to add a little water, but not for frozen. So while she's doing that, we're going to make the crust, okay? So in this one, Cindy, can you just put the flour? And we're going to put a little salt. And then I just have the soy margarine. And it has to be really cold. You want those margarine sticks to be really, really cold. And then we're going to put the lid on it. And one thing, if you can make this by hand without the process if you want, but you really have to have a pastry blender and really get it fine. You don't want this.
Or a fork or a couple knives.
Yes, but a pastry processor like this just does it perfectly. And we're just going to click it like that. And I'm just going to pulse it. And I only want it to be crumbly. I don't want it to form a dough. So I'm just going to pulse like this really quick. And it's nice and quiet. And I pulse like that where it's up and down, so I don't want it to get to a... All right,
I like
that's
that.
it.
It's not as noisy as some
Now,
of them.
yes, it's nice and quiet. So now I have this, and we can back that out of there, and I'm just going to pour this into here. And
You're right. Look at all the water that came out of those blueberries.
yes, let's take a look at
The
that.
liquid.
See how you would be really surprised at seeing all that liquid in there. Can you see that? Look right into that. There you can see. Show them how much juice it is. Yep, quite a bit of juice in there. Okay, so we can put that out of the way. Now let's take a look at how crumbly this is right here. You notice it's not into a dough. It's just nice and crumbly, just like that. And that's how you want it. So if you do it by hand, you're going to want it that way too, just little bitty pieces. So now you're just going to take half of this and put it into your pie pan. And actually, this pie pan I have right here, I just want to tell you, this is a little bit too large than what I really like to use.
You like a little more shallow?
I like a shallower. So if you're going to have a big pie pan like this, you probably should have, maybe make a little extra of this. But I'm going to just put this in here and try to make this work. And so all you're going to do is you're going to just pat it around and go up the sides a little bit. You don't have to roll anything out. And I like to just take my fingers in there because you can really just pat it around and go up the sides. Thanks, sis. And this really should be in a shallower pan.
You just kind of have to work fast so it doesn't stick to your fingers.
Right.
This is sure a lot different than the mud pies we used to make when we were little.
Yeah, that's true. We had a lot of practice on mud pies, I'll tell you that.
Daddy never wanted to take a bite of them, but he sure likes the pies we make now.
Yes,
right.
he does.
And you can go ahead and mix that slurry up and put it in there, sis.
It's all mixed, and I'll pour it in.
And I really do need to have a little bit more back in here, so
Hey, we'll get you a paper towel there.
Cover the bottom of your pan like that. And then, let's see, there, a little bit more. And then when our filling is ready, all we have to do is that, and that thickens up really, really quick. In fact, I
it's
think
just amazing how much liquid there is in here.
I know, just from the frozen berries.
And we didn't add any.
Yeah.
You saw that. We didn't add any liquid at all to that. So it really is. And that you can see it's a little milky. When it starts to thicken, that milkiness will kind of go away and it gets translucent.
Colors.
And is it about ready?
Not quite.
Well, I tell you what.
Well, you know, if you're watching it, it's not going to get ready fast.
This is true.
So everybody just look away.
Yeah. Okay, we're looking over here.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. It really, and I want to tell you, this is awesome for pancake syrup. If you want pancakes in the morning and you put this over your pancakes, that is really
My family likes that.
loves it.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah.
And so if you want to make extra and just have that, it's really.
I actually drive to Michigan every year to get the Michigan blueberries because they're so big and
Michigan
sweet
blueberries.
and
They are
juicy.
wonderful.
And I'll bring back probably 200 pounds and freeze them.
Well,
because we love blueberries.
are so good for us. They're connecting that, to memory loss and different things like that, blueberries. They said if you just eat a half a cup of them a day, that you can notice a significant difference. So I've been trying to eat my blueberries every day.
Wow.
Okay. Well, because of the interest in time, and I know it really won't matter because they're going to thicken in the oven because this is going to bake, I'm going to go ahead and just pour this right into the pan right here. And And it was already starting to thicken right here, wasn't it? And I'm just going to add that.
It was just on the verge.
It was on the verge, and it will finish thickening on here. But at home, go ahead and let it finish thickening all the way. All right. And then you're just going to take your topping and the rest of the crumbs and sprinkle all over the top, just like this.
Oh, I love that pie crust.
See, and it's so easy, and this just melts in your mouth. I mean, it is so tender, so light and flaky. You'll be amazed. And then sometimes I like to just sprinkle a little cinnamon over the top, just like that. And I have one all prepared for you right over here, even on a plate. So if you were in the studio, I would just hand you that plate right now and a fork, and you could just taste it.
Doesn't that look delicious?
Well, I think we have something else that's delicious, and that's Cinda's Tamale Vegetable Pie.
Oh, she's gonna try to taste that pie.
Well, I just happened. Oh, I'm way ahead of you, my dear. I am way ahead of you.
Well, I guess she has to eat that before she has energy to make her next pie.
Wow, that's really good.
Oh, thank you.
No, that's really good. That's a blue ribbon.
Well,
I think that's a
something
blue
else
ribbon.
that's really good is Cinda's Tamale Vegetable Pie.
And since I'm so busy, could you read that recipe for me?
Continue eating. For this, you will need, is this called mesa?
It
the
is.
Mesa layer, you will need 2 cups of mesa harina, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of canola oil, 2 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of Micheff chicken-style seasoning. And for the filling, you will need 1 tablespoon of canola or olive oil, 1 medium onion, 1 cup of slivered orange, red, and yellow bell peppers, 2 cloves of fresh garlic, 2 teaspoons of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and then you will also need 1 15.5-ounce can of black beans, 1 14.5-ounce can of diced fire-roasted tomatoes, the juice included, 1 4-ounce can of diced green chilies, 1 19-ounce can of Worthington Loma Linda Tender Bits, and 1.5 cups of frozen corn, 4 cups of lightly packed fresh baby spinach.
Sis, I think you need to tell them how to bake this because trust me, this is so good, you are going to want to make this.
I'm so sorry, I forgot to tell you, you do have to bake it 350-degree oven for 45 minutes to an hour, depending on your oven, till it's golden on top. Sorry about that.
Just helping you out.
Thank you.
Okay, for the sake of time, I've already prepared the filling. And what you do is you take the onions and the garlic and you saute them with the tender bits, and then you add all your vegetables except the spinach, and then mix it all up, and then you slowly add your spinach, and it wilts down right away. For the masa, this is what it looks like, the package looks like, and you're going to take your masa, and you're
really
gonna
like an instant kind of cornmeal.
It is. It is. And you're going to add your salt and your baking powder. And I add the McKay's chicken-style seasoning. I love the flavor that it gives.
I bet that does give good.
Yes.
It really does. And you'll mix this up like this, really good.
Okay.
And then we're going to add all the water and all the oil, both.
Should I put them both together?
Sure. That works great. And you'll see, it looks like it's going to be a lot of liquid, but it mixes up really fast. And you just blend this up and just keep stirring until it starts to thicken.
And it really doesn't take that long.
No, it doesn't.
And what temperature water, does it matter?
No, it does not. And this is, so this is your tamale.
Don't you just love recipes like
Filling.
that are fast and easy to make?
Absolutely.
See how thick it's getting?
Yes.
Now, you can make any size you want. For our sample, you'll see in just a little bit, I've made a larger one, but I thought we'd just make some individual ones. See, there you go. Now, take a little bit.
About that much?
And
You've got a couple smaller pie pans this time.
I have a couple smaller ones, and what you'll do is you'll want to work it up the sides and the bottom, and you want a little bit of thick, because you don't, if it's too thin, you don't get that good tamale flavor, and I love tamales.
You have to work fairly fast, don't you?
Yes, because look how it sets up. It sets up so thick and nice. Now, okay, Linda, if you can put some filling, you'll fill that up with filling for us.
How's that, sis?
Perfect.
Okay.
How high do you fill it?
A little bit like this.
How much?
Nope, fill it full.
Even more.
Hey, don't.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be
Hey.
stingy. Don't be stingy. Get those.
Okay,
vegetables
that's
in
good.
there.
That's good.
Okay, okay.
Okay, here's another one.
And now what you'll do is you'll just take this and kind of just go like this. You'll just kind of drop it on top, and you just kind of pat it into place, sealing the edges. See how you just kind of,
doesn't it?
so you just kind of drop it on. There you go. Now, how you bake this is, go ahead and drop it on. Okay. Now, what you'll do is make sure it's all covered, and then you're going to take and put some water in a pan. Now, you really should already set this in the oven and have this hot. Wait, just a minute.
Okay.
Let's cover this, cover it up with foil.
All right.
You want to cover this up with foil real tight. Put it in your water bath. Now, this water should already be in your oven hot. And then you want to, so your other pie will go in there too. And then you will cover this up with foil really tight, and you will bake this in a 350-degree oven for 45 minutes to an hour. And then you pull it out, take the foil out, let it sit for about 4 to 5 minutes.
It smells beautiful.
And here's our finished one.
Doesn't that look gorgeous?
It is delicious.
Well, my sisters and I have 5 cookbooks out now. Can you believe it, sisters? And right now, we'd like to show you how you can get yours.
All 5.
If you've enjoyed the recipes today and would like to purchase your own copy of one of their cookbooks, including their new cookbook, Family Favorites, you can write to 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois, 62896. That's 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois, 62896. Or you can call 618-627-4651. That's 618-627-4651. If you'd like to contact the Micheff Sisters for speaking appointments or concerts, you can do so at their website at micheffsisters.com. That's MICHEFF sisters.com.
Hello, I'm Tom Mann. Have you ever wondered what it takes to keep 3ABN's message fresh and up to date? We're working constantly on new programs for an ever-growing audience around the world. But how is that accomplished? After working many years in television and radio, I've realized how unusual it is for 3ABN to produce such a large percentage of original quality programming. Most Christian networks use a large number of programs produced by other ministries, and unfortunately, they have little or no control over the content. But we've been called to give a consistent message, and we do not allow the focus to become entertainment or performance-oriented. The clear vision given to Danny Shelton, our founder, was to build a television station that would reach the world with the undiluted Three Angels messages, one that would counteract the counterfeits. And that's what we strive for. We just don't provide family-friendly programming. If it's not squarely based on the Bible, our pledge to you is that it will not appear on any of our networks. When it comes to original programming, we produce 69% of our 3ABN English television content, 67% of our 3ABN Latino content, and 100% of what our Russian language channel airs. Without the Lord and all of you, that would be impossible. But we're continuously blessed with the finest teachers, preachers, health presenters, and guests day after day and year after year. So many people work together to make a television program. Producers, directors, camera operators, studio managers, lighting and audiovisual directors, and video engineers, just to mention a few. But we never forget that the message is the most important part of the equation and bringing the hope of salvation to those who haven't heard about Jesus Christ. We have only one solution: a relationship with our Savior. And whether it's a story of a changed life or a program specifically for children, we want to bring honor and glory to Him each and every minute of every day. And with 6 networks airing 168 hours of programming each week, that's a total of 1,008 hours. How can we do this with such a small staff? The answer is simple. The Lord makes it possible, and He uses you to help. From the beginning, your prayers and financial support have made it all possible. And 25 years later, our message is still strong. So thank you for all you do for 3ABN. Your prayers are felt each day, both at our ministry headquarters and all around the world. If the Holy Spirit impresses you to support 3ABN's worldwide ministry, please send your tax-deductible love gifts to 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois, 62896. Or call us at 618-627-4651 during regular business hours. God bless you.
Well, we sure have enjoyed, and you're visiting with us in our pie pantry today.
And we hope you have too.
That's right.
That's right.
Let's take a look one more time at all the things that we prepared and get your mouth watering to try these recipes. Here we have our lentil curry pie. And
You don't have to go to Australia.
Deep dish pizza pie.
That's right. Deep dish pizza pie is delicious.
Ooh, the tamale pie.
That's right. And, oh.
The lemon cream pie.
Your husband's favorite. And we also have blueberry crumb pie. Now that has a crust that anybody can make.
I think so too.
right.
I think so too.
And I like that about your tamale pie too, that your crust was something that you didn't have to be so specific about.
No, you just crumble it on top.
Yeah, and you could just press it to the sides, and it just made it really easy, didn't it?
I love those easy dishes.
We want to encourage you to try the recipes, and you can also change up some of the fillings. You can be creative and make it something that is something your family's going to love with all your family favorites, right, sisters?
That's right.
Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have today. Well, may all your
Meals be seasoned with God's love.
Bye-bye, everybody.